Hi, and welcome back here at episode 125. We ended 124 with getting the broken bolts or the stuck bolts out of the OEM rim, the spoke rim. Now we're putting the aluminum mag on. So I've got 5 new bolts. I went and got 20 of them. I went to PD Restoration. He didn't have any in stock, so I went to FACA Fasteners, where most people get theirs anyways. Julie FACA hooked me up. So we're gonna finish this wheel up and get it put on. So again, as you guys know, there's these are torqued in at 19 foot-pounds with red Loctite. So I'm gonna put some Loctite on them, run them on in. We've got a lot of smog here from the wildfires in northern Ontario. I'm in southern Ontario, but the air quality is just awful. I personally want to get the Road Glide taillight wires fixed, and I'm still going to do them, but I'm not in a rush right now with the heat we're having and the smog out there from it just smells like campfire. And so yeah, I'd rather just be working in here. It's hot in here, but it's just being out on the road. It looks like it's fog, but it's actually the smog from the fires in northern Ontario up near Thunder Bay area and north of there. Hopefully we get some rain this weekend. If you guys know, when you put water on a fire, it'll smother it, but it'll make a lot of smoke itself. So probably not till Tuesday next week it'll probably dissipate. But so I'm just running these all in just with a ratchet, and then I'll torque them to 19 foot-pounds, as you guys seen me do before. So yeah, I got 20 new bolts. I only needed 5, but good to have some in stock. The red Loctite and the 19 foot-pounds, and them being steel bolts and aluminum, sometimes they just, corrode together and tough to get out. Get the torque wrench now, 19 foot-pounds. I didn't get a new bit, but maybe I should have, but it's doing the trick. It's always good to torque things. I got tons of manuals with all the torques. Nothing worse than going too tight and cracking something or breaking something. So that's all. I'm just going to go back to the first one I started with. I just like to go back to it because as it draws in, sometimes that one might have gotten a little loose. Boom. There we go. So both sides now are, so the bottom rotor, top rotor, all torqued, everything's in there. This side is the left side of the bike because there's no speedo drive. The other side is the speedo drive, which is also the wheel spacer. So as you can see, little spacer there. I'll get it set up on the bike and we'll reinstall it. So if you remember in video 124, we removed the caliper off this side. There it is there in the front forward control, or highway peg. the tire, this 19-inch tire, it's hitting the inner caliper. So I'm going to remove this caliper as well. So I'm going to get some tools set up and I'll remove it. So bear with me here. So here we are getting ready to take out the 2 caliper bolts. Here's our speedo drive for this side. Same thing, there'll be 2 nuts in the back side of the caliper that are recessed into the caliper bracket itself. And inside there will be a nut, just like so. That's just so you don't need to put a wrench behind there. Same on the bottom. The one on the other side, the nut stayed in there, but these ones came out. There's one bolt. There's another one. I'm going to hang that over top of the highway tag, just like I did on the other side. I'm going to turn the wheel straight now. I don't know where the camera's at there now. Zoom out a little. Slide our front wheel in there. Here's our flush mount axle. It's going to go in this way. I need to have the speedo drive in the right spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the bike down a little. Just looking here. Very tight in between there. We just got to make sure we got room for our calipers. Lower the bike down slowly. Just on the center stand on the hoist. And make sure our speedo drive stays in place. Check this out. The rotor is very tight in there. Might see if I can lift it up a little, just with my hand. Got it started. I'm just going to lower the jack a little bit more now. I just didn't want to lose the speedo drive. So now we're dropping it back down and in. Speedo drive is what gives us our speed, obviously. You guys should understand and know that. Come down a little bit more yet. So I don't have the bike strapped down, I just have a strap over the center of it, but that's not strapped down. Lower it down a little bit more yet. Trying to align the hole with the forks. Got a rubber mallet here. See if I can tap it through. The thing that happens here is that I don't have a tree bracket for my forks, so they kind of can turn a little bit. Oh, the other nut just fell out of this caliper. I was wondering what that noise was. It is hot as anything, right? Got it through. Now we'll just lift up over here. This is a flush mount axle. So we just bang it in. Flush. So I'll show you here. So flush mount axle, we got the 2 pinch bolts that I got to put back in. Where the bolts are in, I just got to tighten up. Same on this side, 2 pinch bolts on this side. But I'm going to try and get the calipers back on first. See how tight we are actually. If you notice, this rotor is, okay, there we go. Okay, once I tighten it up, it should be fine. Again, like I said, I didn't change these wheels, so it kind of bothers me on how the setup was, because these are the OEM wheels. I want them on here because the FXR's got the same ones, so that's basically what this old Sturgis was an FXR, right? That's the style. So I just want to make sure that when I draw everything together, it's that should be enough clearance there, but it's going to be tight. So let me get everything set up here and we'll go from there. So here we are, we're going to tighten up these pinch bolts. I am a little skeptical right at the moment of the gap between my caliper and the front fork, because I got to make sure that, my rotor I should say, because I want to make sure that my caliper, there's room to fit. But I'm just snugging these up. We'll torque them up later because I want to make sure everything fits nice and the wheel spins without hitting anything. Like I say, the spoke wheel that was on there, I don't know what modifications they did to get it in there. See if I can move you over just a tad so I can tighten up the other one. Let me bring you this way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this one loose. I got the one on the other side tight. I'm going to put my axle nut on now. The reason for that is because I can draw the 2 fork legs together. Good to know. I see the cotter pin has been sheared off in there. Like I say, not my bike, right? Well, it is now, but I inherited it from a gentleman, so. I got the other side tight. I'm just snugging them together. I'll torque it up after as well. There we go. I'm gonna just take the weight off of it now so I can spin it around and see where we're at. I think the rotor on this side might be rubbing. Gonna take the weight off of it. Take it up a little bit more, it's still hitting the bottom of the wheel chock there. It's just hitting the front wheel chock. It's actually pretty quiet, so I'm going to tighten these ones up. Then I'll torque them after. So I just like to get this one off the hoist. Put the road glide up. Yeah, I'll get set up to get the calipers put back on, so bear with me here. So here we are now, we're going to slide the caliper on. So I just use, the brake pads are good, I just use a screwdriver and I turn it sideways nicely, and that spread the piston apart. Again, these nuts go in the recessed part of the caliper in the back, so when I slide the bolt through, it'll catch. So I slide the pads through, and then put the upper pin in. And then I put my nut on the back. And then tighten it. And put the bottom one in. Put the nut on the back. The reason why they do that recessed in the caliper is because there's not a lot of room back there. So you don't want to have an actual nut sticking out the back that could hit the rotor, or excuse me, hit the rim. Just trying to find the location of it here. Recess, so it's kind of, I put the bolt through, then I got to pull it back a little so I can get the it's right against the back side here. I'm going to have to use my screwdriver to get it in there. I could have actually just stuck it in before I put the caliper on. There we go. Got it. Then as I tighten it up, the nut doesn't turn because it's in the recessed part of the caliper, so you don't have to put a wrench behind there. So it's really a good idea. There we go. Now we'll go over to the other side. So there's the caliper on now. rotor's clearing. It is tight. I don't know if I can get it in there any closer, but it is tight. Same on this side. You can just see the rotor there. You can just see the rotor there. So we're going to put this caliper on. I'll get the camera set up. Again, still only have the one shorty stand, so I apologize for that, but thanks for being patient. Thank you for just following along. You don't have to, but I appreciate it. So same principle, I'm going to put my screwdriver in here and just pry the brakes apart. The reason why we do that is just so we can clear the rotor. That's all. Then we might actually pull this one out and put the nut in the recessed part for right now. Same with the top. As I just drop one. Slide it over the rotor. Slide it up into place. The longer one goes at the top. Tighten it up. Shorter one goes in the bottom. The nut popped out back there. I'm just trying to get it started so I can draw it back in. Very hard to get your hand in behind there. Well, I stuck it in the bracket first, but I'm going to have to take this one off. It just came. Funny thing is, it came right out through the hole of the rotor. If I turned it just a tad the other way, that wouldn't have happened. It would have, as I tightened it up, it would have pushed against the rotor, but because the hole lined up, see, I got a little burr on the starting thread. clean this up, and then I will maybe I'll run a tap down it. So bear with me. So I did use a tap and die, and I chased the threads on the bolt, and then I ran a die down, a tap through the nut. So we'll get this back up in behind here. Very tight quarters in there. Yeah. Shove it in that way. Just pop back out again. It's recessed, but I just feel like the angle I'm on here just slides out. Maybe a little bit of grease in there or something would hold it. I had it that time. All right, we got her, folks. I've got my finger through the top hole there. There we go. So we removed this wheel here. That spoke wheel was on it. We've got the aluminum mag on now. We put 5 new rotor bolts in. We put the calipers back on, spread the brakes. We've got our axle tight. We've got our fork leg caps tight, but not torqued yet. I'm going to just clean up. And tomorrow, it's so hot right now, I'm going to stop and make some dinner, but the bike is ready to be moved off the lift now. So I've taken the battery out of it to put in my tractor in the meantime, but the bike's ready to be moved off the lift. We got the OEM original wheel on the front, OEM original wheel on the back. I've got to put the original sissy bar on yet. Besides that, go around and clean all my terminals for the electrical and put a battery back in. When I do the sissy bar in the back, I'm going to put blinkers on just for the safety. Do the same up front, but we got the speedo drive in as a spacer. The wheel turns and rotates. Money. So yep, so thanks for tuning in, and like I said, it was a little bit of a delay because I had to get new bolts, but got them nonetheless. The smog from the fires in Northern Ontario are definitely playing effect down here in Southern Ontario. We'll get the FXSB off the lift, get the Road Glide on the lift tomorrow, get the other saddlebag off, get the tour pack off, get the rear fender off, fix up the wiring, and see if we'll be ready for Sunday's ride. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll go from there. Thank you.